All right, everybody, I seem to have a lot of bling on. And today, welcome back to another episode of FTB Skies, where in the last episode, we were actually working on this right here. And we kind of came to an end on it, kind of abruptly, but that was mainly because I was trying to get all this working. And yeah, we got it all set up and going, which is always good. And now we're going to have to figure out how to get all those items into where they need to be. And also be able to smelt and basically just get all of the resources that we need. Because right now we're just using, I think it's like 2 blast furnaces to cook all of our furnace or our ores and everything. And that's not the best in the world, but it's better than nothing. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump into it. We're going to do a little bit of create because I think create's going to be the easiest way to automate all this without costing us actually power. So I'm going to go ahead and get some stuff ready and we're going to go from there. All right, everybody, we're going to add a little bit to our automation somewhat area over here. We're going to actually put a couple smokers in. And the reason we're doing smokers, well, I kind of need something from, basically vanilla, but we don't really have any right now, but we have a lot of kelp. So I'm going to need a lot of kelp to make belts. So might as well go ahead and get that started. Now, this is probably the easiest way to do this, and I'm kind of curious if this is going to work. It looks like it's going to. But anyways, so quick other thing I want to make is a stone cutter. Stone cutters are one of those things that I'm glad they incorporated with Minecraft because it helps out so much. When you don't want to use too much of a certain resource and like stairs, instead of taking 6, it only takes 1 and you can make a stair. Because normally you'd have to go like this, make 4 stairs, so you're losing 2 right there. But with this magical thing, thank you Minecraft, you can actually just make them like this. And we're gonna need a few of these. I'm trying to design this a very interesting way, and the way I want to do it is pretty much it's going to have water. This is going to be like the little area back here where we're going to get all of our energy from. And hopefully I made enough. I thought I might have counted it right, and I think I counted over, but that's good. But yeah, so what we're going to do is basically like that. And I really wish that would, yeah, that's not going to work. Well, kind of. Now, I was reading it through the YouTube comments, and someone gave me a suggestion of using a hammer inside of one of the pedestals, and it should act the same. So we're gonna have to take a look at that in just a moment, but I want to make sure this is up and kind of going. That should be enough energy. Now, there is a way to get a little bit more out of it, and that is right down in front of it. We put some soul sand. Now, there's a few ways to get soul sand, and one of them is I think it's called haunting. Yeah, haunting sand, you'll get soul sand, but you're gonna need soul sand to start that. But if we look back right here, sand becomes soul sand. So let's go get a little bit of soul sand, which is going to help us out quite a bit. There we go. We got a whole stack of it, and we got a quest complete. We're gonna have to claim a lot of those quest rewards in just a minute, but with this, it should speed it up if I put it right properly. So I believe it's going to be right here. And I don't want to mess this up too much, but I think if that should be going a lot faster. So now we have a little bit more power to pull from. So now let's go ahead and get the rest of the stuff we're going to need. I know I'm going to need some belts and a few other things. And I'm trying to figure out how I want to set this up. Do I want to set it down below this? Which I think might be an option. Oh yeah, and I found that in between videos. I don't know if I mentioned it, I can't remember if I mentioned it in the last one, but yeah, that was just sitting there. Yeah, we might have to go one below this to start this. And I do want to start getting like my designs for these bases areas, I guess that's what you can call them, set up. but that's just going to take a little bit and not that bad. I would rather do it with a builder because if not, that's going to take me forever. So I'll be back in a minute. Let me get some belts made up. Those are pretty simple, and a few gearboxes and everything. Right, everybody. While I was waiting on a few more things of kelp to smelt, I went ahead and put another layer down here. We will be working on redesigning these once we get a little bit of power, but I'll just use the exchanging gadget for that. And I think I kind of like the idea of the power being up here, just a half. Now, the only catch right now we have, well, we need those goggles so we can see actually how much power we're producing and everything like that. So let's go ahead and get our things out of our backpack because for some odd reason I like to put them in there. We need a metal press, which is not a big deal. And I don't think that's going to work right there. And what we need is a depot, which is pretty easy, really. I can just do it in my inventory. So first things first, you know what I didn't do? I didn't grab any gold because there weren't any gold for that and gold for that. No big deal. 1 second. All right, went and got everything we're going to possibly need. So the way this works, basically you just throw it down and it will slowly do it. There we go. We got made the advancement bunk. Now, while we're here, let's go ahead and test that theory on the hammers. Now, what one would let's do, I don't know which one would be better. Let's see. I think dust. Dust is going to be the one that we get the most of the resources that we're going to really need from. And I believe that's the one. Yep, that is the one we need. So this is, I guess it really doesn't matter. Well, one's going that, one's going that. Here it is. So if we put this on it, no, it's this. If I remember correctly. And do I need to, yeah, I need to have it in my offhand. Oh. Oh, that is great. Well, we have that. So I guess for the time being, this is going to sit here. We're not going to need this anymore. So sooner or later, we're just going to transition over to that. Thank you, Dysfunctional Racing, for that tip. That was great. That's going to save us a lot of issues later down the line and make it a lot faster for us. So we got that figured out. And this should be done by now. Good. I'm going to do like half a stack of iron, and that's going to take a while. But first things first, let's get the things that we're going to need. One is the wrench. Easy. Next is the goggles. Even easy. So now we can actually see, if we put these on, how much, hello. Excuse me. There we go. 256 stress units, which isn't the best in the world. And I'm starting to wonder if I set this up wrong. Turns out I did just fine on that. It's as high as it's going to go. Now, one of the things I thought about doing for item routing is actually the pipes mod. It doesn't look too bad. I think we can make a bit of them just right off the top of our thing. And what I want to do is get a basic upgrade. Now, I don't know how well the basic is going to work, but we're going to try it. And hopefully it gives a round robin type thing. Oh, it's 4. Might as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move things around. And what we're going to do is come out of here and should be able to, before we actually commit to this, let's get the wrench from the mod real quick. You got to have all the wrenches apparently. All right, let's see what this one does. Okay, that one redstone signal. This is the round robin one. So we're going to need a little bit of gold, which we do have, luckily. And yeah, we can do 4 of those. And hopefully this one will give us the upgrade that we need. Yeah, there we go. Round robin. So perfect. And now whenever we do like so, and there we go. So now everything's going in here. So that actually works pretty good. Now to get these down, I'm trying to debate on how I want to do this. Let's go ahead and disable that for the moment. That's going to have a lot of junk built up, but at least we know that works. Get all that stuff in there to give us a little bit more headroom. But I want to set up the smelting and everything of all this. And what I'm thinking of doing, and I don't think I have a flint and steel. Yes, I do. And I want to get some netherrack. And yeah, this is going to be the smelting area of everything. And I kind of want to have storage area too, but I need a bit of netherrack, which I don't think that's actually keeping up now. And I want to figure out how I want this set up. Basically, we're going to use belts and flames to kind of cook everything and get it to where it needs to be. But we're also going to need, I believe, if I'm not wrong, if I'm thinking correctly, we're going to need the brass funnels. Possibly tunnels. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out. And I kind of want to have everything come back to like a central area and everything kind of fed around. So I'm thinking possibly back here. Yeah, this should be a good spot for it. And everything's going to come down here from here. Nope, not from there. All right, so we're going to do this opposite way. I think everything coming down to there would be a good idea because then everything can be auto-processed and everything. Let me get a few belts kind of set up. And because I kind of want to figure out what I want to basically automate with it. All right, a new day and a new mess of problems with the inventory. But let's go ahead and actually claim a quest reward, which is from here. That's the main thing I wanted from there. And that's nice, but I don't need you right now. So what we're going to do is gently set the blaze burner down right. Let's see. Here. Put this on top. And I believe it should be just as simple as setting this thing right here. Now, a little bit of an issue, but there we go. Now, this is not going to be fast. I don't think it's actually fast enough. So, easiest way I know of doing it is taking a small cogwheel. Well, actually, a large cogwheel going into a small one. And repeating that if I can. All right. After we get everything set back up, it should be just as easy as hooking that there, and it is fine. So, the recipe for this is going to be pretty simple. It's going to be just 1 copper, 1 zinc equals 2 brass. Now, we're going to do this with 1 to start off with. Attempt number 2. This is why I don't play basketball. There we go. And there we go. And once that gets done, and what we can do with this is put that right there. There we go. Let's go ahead and just make sure that is good and going. And I'll be back once I get done. All right. I decided to put on another batch of this, so we should have plenty of it. I think I might have overkilled it on how long, but oh well, it's just a little bit of coal. And I decided to throw some soul sand in here and try and get out some stuff. I think there we go. And we got a little bit of nether warts. And I was needing some quartz for this next process. So we got the brass right here. And all we're going to need is some brass funnels, which aren't too difficult, except for the fact I don't have any kelp. All right, just like that, we got some kelp. And it's these electron tubes, which don't look too difficult. But yeah, we're going to need a few of these. I'm going to say, yeah, 6 should be plenty. And the way this works, well, let's get our sand and sandpaper. And there we go. We got sandpaper, literally. And all you have to do is, I think it's put this in the offhand and this in your main hand. And there we go. That is how you do it. And we end up with the electron tubes, which we will be able to use for pretty much a lot of other things. And that's why I made so many plates. So I had a feeling that was going to happen. There we go. And brass funnels. Easy. And actually, let me put away my cords. And also brass funnels. Tunnels and funnels. So, pretty easy. Let me sleep through the night and we're going to get everything kind of set up down below. Kind of decided to move everything down here, but there's a few things I wanted to make real quick just to kind of make things a little bit easier. One is actually a toolbox. The only thing I need is a cogwheel And the reason I want to do that, well, just to make my life a little bit easier. This thing is actually really cool. You can set it down and you can put any type of create stuff in it. And I'm thinking it's really just about anything. But this is going to help me with keeping my inventory a little bit more clear. And yeah, and this is going to also, I think there is a way to like technically open it and be able to like snag things from it whenever I am far away. But I'm gonna have to remember that, but that's gonna help me out with that. The other thing I wanted to make was actually a dank knoll. A dank knoll doesn't really seem all that important in a sky block because there's not that much to mine, but I can also just simply just put things away, like, I don't know, all this oak wood I have and stuff like that. And in case I need to build something, I got it like right here in my inventory. And yeah, and the beginner one, it can hold, I think 256, yeah. But the next one, it's going to take a little bit more. It's going to take redstone. We don't have that much redstone to get that started, but yeah, that's going to help out quite a bit. Anyways, so I moved everything down here, and I also redid the way this worked. So now everything's running right. We got everything. The only thing we're going to need is some filters. Filters from Create is really useful, and you can actually have two different types of filters. One of them being a standard filter. This one, it can control which items flow, yada yada yada, or an attribute filter. So I think we're going to get both of these just to see what they are, but it's not that hard. Wool and wool. Only difference in between them is what we're using for the materials on the side. But either way, that should be really easy. And then we should be able to hook everything up and get to going. And somehow squids have spawned in there. Now, before we really start hooking everything up, I want to get a stressometer on here. A stressometer is going to be really useful for whenever we're really needing to make things. And I put all this stuff away. But it helps with the fact that I can actually see how much stress we have left, and that's a speedometer and a stressometer. All right, so now I got to find a place to hook this in where it's going to be kind of out of the way. I think if I hook it on there, it tells me. Okay, so far we're not using really anything on stress, so that is a good sign. So with that out of the way, let's get a few of these fans kind of made up. Right now I can make 4 of them. And with these fans, we're going to be able to slowly start moving stuff around. I'm just going to grab all that. And not only moving stuff around, but we can also, for back here, start cooking things. And that is going to be the main goal. And I actually want to use this. I think this will work. And I have more plates cooking up. I want to be able to hook this up properly. And it looks like I should be able to do it from here to here. I might want to go out one more on both sides, just to be on the safe side, because I can go like here to here. And that should be pushing. Oh, great. That is actually first try. That is not bad. And we're going to have to put like a wall of glass or something right here. I just rather be safe than sorry when coming to deal with this stuff. And that should be the rest of them that we're going to need for this. And we should be good to go. Now, this is one of the ways that you can cook things with Create. And it's pretty straightforward. But you can also see that with that, it increased it by 2%. Not the best in the world, but not the worst. So we can get the rest of these on here. And I should be able to just hook them all up with a simple belt from here to here. And there we go. Now, you see when we try to get close, it's slowly pushing us away, which is what we want to happen. Now let me go grab some glass, and I'm thinking something like that. But we're going to want some glass so we don't get burnt or anything like that. So So let me grab some glass. I think I left it over at the other place, and I will be back in. All right. Well, before we actually get started with lighting these things, I want to do a little bit of haunting. The reason I want to do that is, well, mainly because we need it for the soul sand, or soil. And this is one of the ways you can do it. And I thought just setting this up real quick. Oh, no, it helps if I actually use the right thing. I'll come back in just a moment. And just like that, we got soil. Now this can be used to make soul sand, which then we can actually just seethe it. So that's pretty good. And I had an area already kind of placed out for it. Luckily, we don't need as many of these as what we did, right? And just like that, we got it ready. And it should start making it. Now, the only thing I'm going to be curious about is how well all this is going to work. There we go. And we should have soil going into there. Perfect. Now that is everything kind of running. We might have to upgrade our pedestals in a little bit, but to get things really on the way, I want to put a chest down so I can kind of see what we're going to end up having to filter and everything else. All right, just like that, we have a lot of stuff coming in. One thing I want to do real quick is actually lock a lot of these. And there we go. With all of them locked, we can actually start doing our filters. Now, I want to kind of make sure I get all the materials I can right now. You see we got quartz dust coming in, which I think can be really not much done with. Can't even smelt it to make silicone. So that's going to have to go in a different one. So I want to kind of make a list. All right, so let me go through this real quick, and I'm going to sort out what needs to go to the right and what needs to go to the left. All right, and just like that, we pretty much have everything. Yeah, everything's ready to go. And realizing I needed a lot more stuff than what I thought. But look how fast this thing is filling up. We are going to be doing good. And I don't know how well these are holding up. I can't really see. It looks like it's still saying at 2,000. So now we got to get the stuff to go down into a chute. All right, the reason I want chutes is because, well, really, they are pretty nice to have. Now, the current time, I don't think I can actually extract. Oh my gosh, that thing is almost full. Everything out of there properly. Before we really get into it, let's make sure we're putting what stuff is allowed where. Now, I made both types, and you can see we can open them up. Basically, like this, we could put like just the items in it as we needed. Or in this one, which now they don't stack because of that. Let's just move them all down. And this one is different. We can actually put in an item like this, creating it, and it gives me all that. But then we can also select which tag it is. So if I take just one of these, I can actually put this over here. And what we're going to do is put it a piece of gold. And what we're going to do is go back down to ingot. And that should be fine. And what we have to do is hit add attribute. And that's all we need. Now, other thing is we're going to need to be able to kind of just make sure we can filter things properly. And let me head down here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add this on here. And I haven't turned on the fires yet for a reason. Now that, the only thing that can go through there is an ingot. So if I say put, say a pedestal goes on there, it should not allow it to go through. But if I put an ingot on there, it should be able to go through, no problem. Just like that. So let's line all these up with the flint and steel. And we should start being able to move things around where we need them. Now this causes a cooking effect. And now only ingots can go through there for now. We might have to change it, but for the moment, it's going to be fine. Now, since we already have everything kind of set up in here, what we want to do is get 2 filters. Maybe just 1. And let's kind of just dump a bit of our inventory. And just grab all this stuff that right here that we know we're going to need. And all we have to do is just simply do like that. And there we go. Everything is already set and ready to go. Now, since this filter is already done, we can do the same thing on this one. Except we need a little bit more space. And just like this, we know we need redstone, but everything else can be put on there. And that is an issue because it's not big enough. So in this situation, since we can't actually put everything in there, well, there is a way around it. And when we get this done, we actually put it as a deny list. So now that when we go down here, we'll have a deny list on this one right here and an allow list on that one. So everything that comes out of here is going to be smeltable. And the only thing left to really do besides make this fancy and give it clear views so we can actually see everything is making storage drawers to and pretty much be able to hold everything. Now, on the storage drawers, and I have, wait, no, everything's up here. Now, ooh, that's not what I meant to do. This is why you gotta love that wrench. But since everything's kind of just stuffing up in here, ooh, that is a lot of stuff that's going to be going at once. We kind of got to figure out what type of material we want to make it out of. Now, I have a few things in mind. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we need to get some compacting drawers for every one of the ingots, which we initially have in our inventory, so we need quite a few of them. And then you need compacting drawers for some of the other things that we're going to need quite a bit. Anything that can be compacted, I want to put in drawers. All right, I think before we actually get all the drawers set up, I might want to test to make sure this is going to work. See everything kind of funneling out. Now, everything should be going on this side. And before it gets to there, it should take a while. What I want to do is have a fan right here. And I don't know how well this is going to work because I never actually tested this part. We might just be voiding stuff. Now, can I rotate you around? All right, so we got that. All we have to do is make that go upwards. Now, I don't know if I'm going to need a, what do you call it? Input on it. But we will find out. There we go. And that should go up to that chest. Now, all this stuff is cooking, so it might take a minute, luckily. Now we just have to figure out how we're going to, do this without a pickaxe. But hopefully it will automatically push into that. If it does, that's great. If it doesn't, we'll figure something else out. Now we just have to get this rotating. And I think my toolbox is still sitting right here. And we have a few gearboxes left, which is quite useful. Go. Need some gearboxes, and that should be about it, because I want to see, first off, if whenever I do this, is it going to go up or down? So gearbox here. And really, if I was smart about this, I would just use belts and everything to kind of get everything going in. Huh. None of this is cooking. Could I have done this wrong? All right, everybody. So I was a little bit of a noob on this one. I forgot. I had to look at the recipe. And really, we were doing this all wrong. So basically what I need is lava. And there we go. And we're just going to go ahead and make this completely filled. And there we go. See, now it's starting to go. Now everything should be making its way into the chest, and sooner or later we should have stuff coming in. But look how fast that is smelting. That is nice. And we're about to find out if everything. And there's another stick. I just really got one a minute ago. So we are going to need something to go into it. Okay, so that is going to be a little bit of an issue, but not horribly bad. I think it's up on the next level. I might have a few of... Nope, it was down here, I guess. Yeah, there we go. 2 of these. So really all we should have to do is just pop this off and this. And there we go. Everything's going in. Everything's going in. Now, just to make sure we can see everything, it's slowly making its way up there. We might have to increase the speed, because this stuff's cooking faster than what it's coming up. But that is a good sign for what we're doing. Now, for the design of them, went ahead and made a bit of... All right, we can see the iron is actually making its way up here, which is what we were wanting. So we already made a few of these frame drawers, and what we're going to do is make framed compacting drawers, which is pretty easy. And there we go. We got 6 of those. And the way these work, you can actually take materials that you have and kind of combine them to see what they would look like. What I want to try, though, I've never tried this with create stuff. All right. And I don't know if this is going to work, but it's worth a shot. Not working just yet. We still might be able... Ah, there we go. Now, I'm debating on which one I like more. If I did it this way, I might want a lighter color. Maybe like this. We'll see. That doesn't look too bad, actually. Let's see what they look like in the real world. Oh, I kind of like that. That is kind of cool. All right. So we're going to actually have this kind of set this way. We don't really need to see these all the time. But, man, I did not know you could use creates. Ooh. Yeah, there is a lighting situation. One second. Let me fix that. All right. So if you put this forge light pipeline enabled on, I believe that's what fixes it. And all I have to do is save and back, and it's under Forge. So if you guys need to find that, and it's there we go, and there we go. It's all nice and lit up. So we already got our iron in here. So there we go, and now we have it all in there. But ooh, what do I want to do? I might want to move these forward one. Just so I can pipe in here. And those leap bees, yes, they're nice, but yeah. I wonder why only one thing's going in there. Is it because it's too slow? This whole line is backed up. Yeah, it was. It was because it was backed up. So we're going to have to speed this up. Which shouldn't be that big of a deal. So we'll turn that off for a moment. Yeah, everything's kind of backed up a little bit. I'm not going to complain about a diamond. And elemental source. Okay. And energetic sheep. What all am I getting? You just have a lot of stuff. Okay, now you're back to a normal bee. All right, we're going to have to catch those one day. Just throw everything in there. So that is a little too slow. Now, let me grab some cogwheels real quick, and we're going to speed that thing up. All right, everybody. After a lot of tinkering, I think we got it at a good speed. And we're just going to ignore the clipping right there. Because, yeah, there we go. But everything seems to be moving a lot faster. Like, literally, once it goes up, it is sent away. So that should be sending things properly through. And yeah, so it is. All right. Let me make it day and we'll finish setting up the rest of this. All right, everybody. I'm noticing that with as much stuff as I'm coming in, I don't want to do the 4x4, so we're just going to go straightly with 1x1s or normal drawers and compacting drawers for this side. One thing I do want to make, though, is a drawer controller. Yeah, this is going to help us kind of manage everything. Oh, well, I guess that's fine. That's not what I meant for it to do, but I think right there in the middle should be an okay spot. But we're going to have to kind of bind all this stuff and lock everything. So this configuration tool, and we need the other, and the linking tool. Yeah, so what we could do is configure control to link, and we can do this individually, which is probably what we're going to do for the time being. And since all those are configured, we can lock them all at once. And now we just need to be able to get items in there pretty easy. And really what I'm going to do is just use those, and we should have enough. Well, we might actually be able to upgrade you. Now, the faster things like this, all it does is it just improves the speed that it's receiving the items. Which I think we can use this wrench. I think any wrench will work. And all we have to do is put that in there, and that should be extracting everything out. Look at that. 43 blocks already. Now, since none of this stuff's in here, we're going to have to slowly kind of separate it out and move it in. But once I put something in, it should automatically, all of it should go. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to slowly rearrange this stuff. And I want to get all the metals on one side and everything else. So give me 1 minute. And okay, that was not right. I was in the middle of crafting and that thing decided to come at me. Hopefully this is recording. I need to run. I need to run. Okay. My gosh. Why every time I turn around? Right. And just like that, we have everything kind of sorted. We still have a few more that we're going to end up getting along the way, but for right now, that should be fine. Now, all we have to do is hopefully get this chest back. Maybe not. But we can do like this, and we're going to reset up all the system, and hopefully everything will be running smoothly. What should have to do is this, and everything should be going in here now. Yep. And my chest should have ended up somewhere around. We'll eventually find it. Oh, well. But yeah, that is everything kind of going and moving, which is really great. I would love to get this stuff moving a little bit faster, but I'd have to separate the systems out. But, I mean, we have a functioning system over here, and really that's all I was wanting. Like I said, I'd have to maybe have this have its own system or something like that. I don't know. I would have to figure it out. Other than that, seems like everything is running. Everything is groovy. All right, look at that. And now we have a way to have unlimited everything pretty much. And it was very simple. Well, simple-ish. Hey, there we go. Found the diamond chest. And I decided to move that to the back. We're going to have to add more things to this eventually. But, I mean, that is passive generation of every item that we are going to need for the foreseeable future. Well, for a little bit. But one thing I do want to do is maybe do some live streams of this, and we can maybe develop this a little bit better. Most of my live streams are now going to be more of decoration than it is me doing mod packs and stuff like that. Just kind of keep things a little different. And me designing stuff, it goes okay, but yeah. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, and I'm gonna slowly help this thing clear itself out. But until next time, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this and have a great rest of the day, and later everybody.